What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's FPL Fantasy, GW24, and you're in J Nick's After Dark territory. Welcome to the Dark Room. I'm glad to invite you guys in. Ready to talk some FPL with my man Doc here, and probably one of the most boring game weeks it feels like we've had in forever because it's not a double. It's just a regular, plain old, lame game week. But before we get into it, I'll give you a rundown. We are going to be talking about our transfers, potential transfers, things that are happening that may affect your thought pattern going into this game week and going into the blank 25. Talking about some captaincy stuff and then team reveal like normal. But before we do that, Doc, my man, say hello to the people for me.
Hello, everybody. I'm actually glad to be here. I can smell the top 100K now, like as you're gonna see in my team reveal, and I would like the help of our viewers because I have a benching headache. So it would be nice to hear from them regarding my team. I've already done the transfer, which we can share. I usually don't do transfers on Thursday, but I've done it trying to catch price rises because with the plan that I have in mind, I need as much cash as possible. So I'm glad to be here. We are going close to the double game weeks and how to navigate them. So it will be nice to have a discussion regarding it. And let's get into this episode, Joe.
Yeah, Doc, if you're looking for the king of cash, I'm your man. I had over 7 million before anybody else, and spoiler alert, I'm at 5 million plus right now. So, yeah, like you said, let's get into it. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is how the heck I got the 5 million. Let's talk about transfers people can do this week. What do you think about good transfers to bring in maybe for this week, also to compensate for blank 25? What's in your mind, Doc?
Absolutely. Most people will roll. So if you have the team to roll the transfer this game week, I would recommend to roll because you're going to have a lot of doubles and blanks coming up 25, 27, 28. If you don't want to navigate them or use your chips this early, you might as well roll the transfer because most people have decent team. Most people have three Arsenal who are playing Villa away. Most people have two to three Man United who are playing Leicester at home. Most people have at least two from Man City who are playing Nottingham Forest away. And then you have your Andreases, your Buenos, your like one word, let's say Leicester or Kepa as a goalkeeper. So it's a good game week, like you mentioned. It's relatively boring, but this free transfer will be golden in game week 25. So I would say if you have one free transfer, I would recommend to roll. If you'd like to make a transfer, I would recommend probably going, spoiler alert, who I went for last night, Tarkowski. So an Everton player, because Everton have a double, they have a decent fixture this game week, have a double in game week 25, and they're playing game week 28 guaranteed. So it will help you navigate the doubles and the blanks. Tarkowski would be my number one. Maybe look at Aston Villa fixtures because Aston Villa also do not blank in 25 or 28. Maybe Mings, but he's injured. Dean, but he has competition now from the left back, the new left back. I believe his name is pronounced Moreno. So I would look at probably Everton. Otherwise, I would just hold my guns and try to navigate it. Try to navigate the doubles through transfers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so it's kind of weird looking at blank game weeks, but I I don't think you should tear apart your team. Just general advice: tear apart your team to try and survive a blank game week, or to make sure that you can field a full 11 or an 11 plus a bench player. I mean, honestly, I'm probably thinking somewhere in the realm of maybe playing with 10 players. Um, is not horrible. I mean, this isn't such a bad game week for 25 that I feel like basically everybody almost without a hit is going to have 11 playing players at least. And so that's probably more so where I'm going, but I would say if you're expecting to hang on to Mitoma because he has a double after 25, don't transfer. Maybe don't transfer him out to transfer him back in 26. It seems like a little bit of a waste of transfers, especially if you're bringing in somebody that you're not planning on keeping. So there's just a little thought pattern there. If it means you have 10 players, 10 great players are better than 11 okay players, if we're being honest. So, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I'll probably bring in an Everton player, maybe Tarkowski. I don't know. I'm getting a bad vibe from Everton. I'm not feeling like it's going to be an amazing double for them. I mean, yeah, you might gain yourself an extra 2 points, but I don't know. I don't know. My feelings off. Head says yes. Literally everything else says no. Let's see. Who else was I really thinking about? I mean, I know a lot of people are trying to bring in Wolves players too. Wolves just kind of feel like a Wolves feel like that I'm bringing in a player, so I have playing players, and then I'm going to get rid of them the next game week or the game week after. So that's kind of a difficult area. Like you mentioned, most people probably have three Arsenal. Arsenal, they feel like they're up and down. They're still like playing really good, but it's kind of a little bit of a mystery there. A lot of people brought in Saka. Saka paid off for him this week. But I feel like 90% of the people that brought in Saka were bringing him in because he's a PK taker and he's got a double game week. Worked out. I saw a lot of people complaining that maybe the pen was a little bit soft, just a little cushiony. So little variance going their way. Doc, you're the man of doing template decisions, and they always feel like god awful decisions to me. So everybody that's flocking to get Liverpool players, what are your thoughts on that? Are you still the same player that you have been in the past, or are you switching it up now?
I'm still the same player who gets points, Joe. Stop putting it out there that I'm the template player. So yeah, I would get Liverpool most definitely by game week 25. I wouldn't get them in this game week, not yet, unless I have two free transfers and I don't know what to do with them. Yes, I might do it. I see a lot of people ask, shall I do KDB to Salah? I wouldn't yet. I don't want to sit on the fence on this. I just wouldn't yet. The fixtures speak for themselves. Yes, KDB might be missing out some minutes before the Champions League game, but why would you take a risk if he starts versus Nottingham Forest? So I might as well start KDB if I have one free transfer, not free transfers, and leave Salah till next game week. Salah probably will be in every single except you, every single engaged manager's team by next game week. This is my plan. You already know my plan for game week 25. Salah's coming in because he might be a captaincy shout, especially if Liverpool play well versus Newcastle. Everybody will flock to bring them in. So I would say yes, at least one Liverpool player would be nice to have because you can easily also navigate the doubles with them. They have nice fixtures versus United and Bournemouth in 26 and 27 as well. So yeah, I would get Liverpool, but I wouldn't push it this week.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Liverpool, maybe not. In my opinion, over here in crazy land. Um, let's see. The Salah goal, kind of lucky. There was a glitch in the Matrix, and Pickford was like trying to wave to his family in the stands, and went, "Oh shoot, they're in the goal box. I gotta stop this." I don't know. Doesn't seem like Salah's back. Seems like Pickford isn't. But he scored. So like that's the viability of it. He still put points on the board. Nunez, still wouldn't trust him. Dude has no aim. Yeah, he got the assist, but he got the assist on like the Salah goal where Pickford was saying hi to his family in the stands. Trent feeling okay. Kind of got a little bit robbed of an assist in the Liverpool game. Typically they reward that. Yeah, Trent may be okay. I don't even know what his price point is anymore, but like it feels like it should be like 6.2 because literally no one owns them. Otherwise, the pricing system is broken. The thing that I would maybe be
7.3. I just checked. Sorry
he's
to
what?
interrupt you. 7.3 because I was curious as well. I thought he was 7.2. He's actually 7.3.
That's not that's no. There's probably something's wrong with the game. That's not right. Um, that yeah. I don't know. I feel like Kane has dropped more than Trent has dropped. Like Kane's obviously gone up now, but I think he was down like point 0.3, point 0.4, and Trent like hasn't done anything. Weird. Price rises, price falls. None of it makes sense. If you've been playing this game, you guys know that. Yeah. Maybe an interesting one to see after this game week is Liverpool does have a lot of injuries coming back. Maybe somebody there. I mean, Jota. Typically, he's a big dog. He gets you points, so maybe somebody to look out for there.
I do have a gut feel that Liverpool's attack will be kind of a minefield soon with Firmino back, Gakpo, Diaz possibly. Yeah, you can see some rotation coming up. So it will be a bit worrying to go for Liverpool with all those doubles. That's why you go for Salah kind of for the assured minutes, despite not firing. But you would want at least one Liverpool attacker, at least one Liverpool attacker in the double, yeah.
Yep. Get Milner in. No. All right. So, speaking of failed captaincies, what do you think about captaincies, Doc?
Well, a lot of people are saying Haaland is not scoring as many as he used to in the beginning of the season. He's still consistent enough to score, so Haaland is probably the default captain. But a lot of people are arguing for Rashford, which I see the argument. United are playing literally 4 hours from now from recording this video, so Rashford might get a knock or something and he doesn't become an option. But I think we should default, like most people would default to Haaland and then see how it goes. Rashford is currently my vice captain. There is an argument to be made for Saka versus Aston Villa away, but you never know when Emery masterclass is pulled. So it's between Haaland and Rashford for this game week.
Sure, maybe. Rashford probably has the higher percentage of actually doing something currently. I think probably more guaranteed minutes you could. I'm not guaranteed minutes, but I feel like guaranteed points that we've seen over the last X amount of game weeks. You could even look at Mahrez. That was something that I was contemplating with myself was okay. I want to captain a Man City player this last week. I was really thinking about Mahrez. In hindsight, and Mahrez was probably the better shout. I think probably in a majority of the community, yeah, it definitely comes down to the Rashford Holland type idea. Mahrez is definitely like another shout. I don't think there's anything really in Arsenal that I care for that much to captain. You have Kane versus West Ham. Maybe. I don't know. West Ham are kind of all over the place. There's not a huge shout out. So, yeah, I think those are probably like the 4 or 5 that I would maybe throw up in the air. I honestly am not sure if I'm going to do Holland this week. So we'll see.
Fair enough. If it's not Haaland, it's going to be Rashford.
Maybe. Maybe. Who knows?
I'm looking forward to seeing your captain after the deadline.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, I think I'm guaranteed to go up 300,000 because that's what's been happening in the last 4 to 6 weeks. I'll drop 200,000, go up 300,000, drop 200,000, go up 3. So it's basically written in the stars that yeah, I'll be up top 300k at the end of this week. So I don't think it really matters what I do. Destiny is on my side.
And people who are watching, if you think he's exaggerating, he's absolutely not. Like, let me tell you his jumps in the past few weeks. It's up 300,000, up 250,000, down 350,000, up 350,000, down 200,000. This is insane. Like, the swings are crazy. From game week 18 to game week 23, those are the swings you had. It's crazy. You're having a very good game week and then a very bad game week.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I think it's credit to actually how competitive FPL is kind of getting in probably the top like million to top I don't know, maybe top 150k, really? You can have like a stellar game week and still just, jump all the way up to 200,000 and then have a stinker like I've been having in the off weeks and drop all the way back to 700,000. It's just it's wild like how close the point section is there. And like I was up in these numbers towards the end of last season, but like if I had a bad game week, I dropped like 30 or 50,000 rather than 200,000. And I know we're still earlier in the year compared to game week 34 or 35, but like I mean still there's a lot of movement there depending on what's happening in your team. All right, Doc. So had some fun with captaincy, had some fun with transfers, talked about how nobody should ever get Liverpool. Show us your team. What's going on with your team, man?
Well, I've done my transfer last night. I finally took out Cancelo and I brought in Tarkowski. Again, this move is to prepare Bruno Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes to Salah next game week. So I have enough money in the bank to do that next game week for free. That was the transfer. I am smelling the top 100k now. So I was in 219k, I believe, the end of this game week. If I
Mm-hmm.
finish 100k this season, it's going to be my 10th 100k finish. It will be amazing. I might take a year off just celebrating finishing 10 times in FPL top 100k. So that's kind of the target. Just 5 digits. I will be very happy. I'll be over the moon. So that's the target. And I'm only 22 points away, which is absolutely nothing at this stage of the season. So it is achievable, but also I can be top million by the end of the season with things how they're going with the swings and the 50-50 decisions. Therefore, you see my team, and I would like your opinion as an audience. I would really appreciate if you leave a comment and tell me who would you bench. I have a benching headache. It's kind of the usual suspects. Let me walk you through my idea or my thought process, right? It's either Trippier or Andreas gonna go to the bench, right? I was thinking Trippier, I'll probably not bench him. Potential attacking returns, one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best at home. Why not? Just leave him in. So it's between Andreas, Nionto, Bueno, Tarkowski. So Tarkowski, I brought him this game week. I could have saved the transfer and brought him in next game week for the double, and he has an easy fixture. At home, why not start him ahead of Andreas? Also Bueno. Bueno, I have this gut feeling about him. Like I have just a gut feel, not based on anything. I have a feeling he will do very well this game week. And of course Nionto. Now I played with the statistics, and the statistics say I should start Nionto over Andreas, Bueno, and Tarkowski. So I should bench Andreas. But like I said, gut feel says Andreas because Andreas can tick along nicely. Nionto can score a goal or nothing. It's Andres has more avenues to points. He has corners, he has a couple of free kicks every game, he has higher expected assists, so more avenues to points. So if I would say Andreas would probably get 6 points, Nionto would get like 8 to 9 points, but Nionto is possibly getting only two, Andreas is more likely to get six. So I need to weigh my options. But for now, this is the team I'm going for. It's just the benching headache that I would love to hear some opinions about.
Easy. Super easy answer. Put in Tarkowski, take out Andreas.
Fair enough. Would you
Andreas
like to
is
explain why?
yeah. So Andreas is versus Brighton. Brighton have been pretty locked down on their defense for the most part. I mean, they have let their share of goofy ones go through, but I don't think they're not leaking goals really. And Andreas, I mean, you're not going to get a clean sheet point from him. We know that. It's Brighton. Brighton have miraculously figured it out this year, and they're shooting to be better than top 9 in the league. So I I think Andreas has almost zero chance of a return, let alone, like a big chunky haul for you. Tarkowski, here's my thought, okay? Yeah, he might be able to get a clean sheet at home, but I think Leeds are probably going to get a goal on Everton, which I know it's like, oh wow, a defender. Why would you do that? Tarkowski, at least I don't know what the stats say, but the stats also say that Salah has been projected since the beginning of the season to get 8 points every single game week, and he's done it like twice, or at least it feels like he's done it twice. Tarkowski is right now what feels like the most attacking defender in the league. The man is putting up shots. He's unlucky not to get a goal last week. He got a return the week before. He's getting into the space. Everton are at least giving him the opportunity to fire down range, really. And I think if he gets a clean sheet, that's bonus points, really. And the thing that we're kind of seeing with Leeds is their attack doesn't feel as deadly, but their defense feels better. I have more faith in Tarkowski getting you points than Andreas. Put it here,
Actually see your
bookmark
point.
it, stamp it.
I actually see your point. Now, since we discussed it, one of the reasons I like doing those videos with you, because it's an opportunity to articulate my thoughts and get a feedback and then reply back, and I usually make good decisions after our recordings. That's why you see a lot of my decisions change after recording. Like, I start thinking about it tonight and I'm like, okay, I said this, Joe said that. I really love doing those videos with you. And since you mentioned that, I have this kind of thought in my head that Leeds concede a lot from set pieces, and Tarkowski is the main set piece threat for Everton. So, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to hear the comments as well, but now I'm leaning Tarkowski. But it seems crazy to bench a starting midfielder and bench a starting forward who've been returning very well for a defender. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, I'm slightly leaning Tarkowski now.
Yeah, no, I think really for the most part the rest of the team looks solid. Yeah, when you put up the team, I was like, okay, this, and you sent it to me, I was like, this needs to change. Like this right here, that was my instant thought. And you're like, oh, I got some big decisions tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then you're talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, there's the answer, done, ship it.
From last bench to starting 11 it will be interesting to yeah like I will come back next game week and blame you by the way.
Yeah. You'll blame me, or Tarkowski will get like 20 points this game week, and he'll be third on your bench, and you'll be like,
All right, thanks, Joe.
yeah. But no, good luck in your game week. You got this. You better get these points. Okay, Doc. So we are headed over to Crazy Land, my team.
Absolutely.
So this last game week clearly didn't pan out. I feel like basically every decision that I made consciously for a reason backfired. You know, not bringing in KDB. He finally got a return. Not bringing in Saka because Odegaard felt like the better option, and I already had Odegaard. That backfired too, which at this point Odegaard's on the chopping block for me. Saliba's on the chopping block for me. I think the real thing for me currently is let's get past 25, and then I'm going to take all the players one by one and have them make a nice long look in the mirror and ask themselves, why are they here? And there's a ton of things here. So, like, right now I have Walker starting against Nottingham Forest. He either starts or he's not going to play. I highly doubt that he's going to come in for a, 20-30 minute appearance. But the big thing here, what did I do? What transfer did I make already? Because early transfers are my favorite thing aside from hits. I took out Bruno and I brought in my man Madison. Now, for those that have been watching, I was super high on Madison beginning of the season. He was one of those low, under the radar players that were ticking along, getting 6s and 8s and things like that. And I feel like he was overshadowed by Kane, who was doing very similarly the exact same thing. And Kane's a big name, and everybody was excited to get in Kane, but didn't even think about Madison. Then Madison pops up. People are like, oh my gosh, like Madison's been doing well. Has anybody seen this? And I'm like, yeah, hi, me over here. And then people start getting in Madison. And then he gets injured because too many of you are putting faith in him and you ruined him for all of us. So please stop bringing in Madison. Let me have Madison. You guys have whatever else you guys want. But he's back. He's in the team. I know he's got two hard fixtures coming up. He's got United and he's got Arsenal. Both of them right now, given their overall form of the season, I feel like these are probably some of the most vulnerable weeks for an attacking return. And if you look at Leicester, you basically go, okay, so where are their attacking points coming from? And I mean, I think after this last game week, there's two places. It's Madison or Barnes, right? And only Barnes because I think Madison fed one or maybe both of his returns to Barnes. So it kind of seems like a no-brainer. It was all in due time before I actually moved Madison in. Regardless, he's here, he's beautiful, he's mine. Madison, everybody. And because I know Doc, I forgot to send Doc my team, and I know he can't see it. He's going to lose his mind. Odegaard and Saliba, 1 and 2 on the bench. Have fun with that, Doc. Go ahead, have at it.
Quit. First of all, you take a player out that's predicted to do very well this game week. Well, he might get injured tonight and you look like an absolute genius, but yeah, I would have not taken out Bruno for Madison, at least not this game week, because Manchester United are playing Leicester at home. Manchester United are at home. Well, Madison is fire. It's a Joe transfer. He's a differential, but Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester United, 3 out of the 4 games are coming up for Madison. I would have not brought him in, at least not this game week. Not taking out Bruno. Yes, Madison plays 25. Bruno doesn't, but you could have done this transfer next game week. Doing it this early as well. It's very interesting. You're taking out a penalty taker, playing at home. Yeah, I would have not done that transfer, and you have a benching headache on your hand, and I wouldn't bench at least Saliba or Odegaard. I wouldn't bench Odegaard. Saliba, I would look into it, yeah. But if I were you, Patterson, Walker are the first two on my bench, and then the third one, there is a debate. Yeah, you have a benching headache similar as I do, so I hope the comments help you. But I would bench Patterson and Walker 1 and 2, and then March. It's between March and Odegaard, to be honest. I would bench Madison, to be honest. So looking at the fixtures, I would bench Madison. Sorry, it's Patterson, Walker, and Madison.
No. 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 No, I mean my thought is Saliba and Walker are the same person, really. They're going to return the same points. And Odegaard has been okay recently, but he hasn't had that same fire, that same creativity that really like built up his ownership. And I got in on that a little bit earlier than I feel like most people, so I was able to get some points out of it. I mean, yeah, Patterson's third. He's projected to come back this week, but I don't care either way. He's probably not slotting directly into the lineup. If he does, I'll be surprised. I could see him coming on for a 20 or 30-minute run. I think if you look at the fixtures, it looks like a benching headache. I think feeling out all of the performances, like the benching headache is Walker or Saliba. And that's really how it feels to me. But
Finally, it's a straightforward for me. Saliba starts. It's not a benching headache. Saliba is ahead of Walker for me because Walker can be benched. His minutes are limited.
yeah,
Maybe Lewis starts ahead of him. Saliba's guaranteed 90 minutes with attacking threat that Walker doesn't have.
No,
For
no,
me,
no, no,
Saliba
no.
is straightforward ahead of
Former
Walker.
attacking threat. Former attacking threat.
Well, you never know. You never know because he always has this corner in him. So the bullet header type of corner. So I think it's clear Saliba ahead of Walker. Of course, like everybody sees the game differently, but for me, it's clear cut for this game week to have Saliba ahead of Walker.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that's one of the entertaining things about what we have here is both of us see the game completely different. But
Absolutely.
no, like yeah, I mean maybe Saliba comes in for Walker. Like I said, I also feel like Walker hardly ever comes on for 20 minutes. He either starts or he doesn't play. So if Walker doesn't play, he's on the bench. Yeah, I'm probably getting Saliba then. Of course, he'll probably come in and get 1 point, but it's the same as if he started and got a yellow card, which he would probably do anyways. But then Saliba would also, he's prone to his yellow cards. He likes sampling the finer things in life like yellow cards. They're the same player to me. Currently.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I hope to see some opinions in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. All right, everybody. So we ran through all of it, all your questions, all your answers, everything you would ever need to know for game week 24. Transfers. Are Liverpool worth it? Probably not, but I mean, sure, bring them in if it feels right. But that's obviously my opinion. You know, Doc has a different opinion. He loves Salah. I don't even know the guy. Captaincy, yeah, it's kind of straightforward, but you can also kind of go wherever you want this game weeks. Holland doesn't have a double. Rashford doesn't have a double. You're probably landing on one of them, but you could land on somebody entertaining. I mean, Mahrez, maybe, maybe not. Don't forget, Doc needs your help. Throw in the comments what you think he should do with his team. You heard my opinion. You heard my reasons for it. Don't be afraid to go in there and tell people that I'm wrong. That's more than fine. Don't be afraid to go in there and tell Doc Joe is the smartest man alive. You should always do what he says. And then you saw my team. The craziness that I have, I'm throwing two Arsenal people on the bench. Why would I do that? Because I have no respect for Arsenal because I'm a Spurs fan. I guess that's the reason, clearly. So, comment your thoughts, throw your likes on it, subscribe. I see you. Doc, what would you like to say to the people?
I will see everybody in the next episode. I'm looking forward to reading the comments and good luck, everybody.
All right, we'll see you next time, everyone. Let's get these points.